Hillary, are we normal? No, we're not normal, because normal's lame.
And your face will start to come down!
Underground ninjas! Oh, I didn't know we were filming, I'm sorry. Today's movie is from 1994. It's called Fun. It's a very gritty, dramatic sort of tale adapted from a stage play from the Manhattan Class Co. And it was directed by Raphael Zelinsky and starring Renee Humphrey and Alicia Witt, both of whom received special recognition awards for their performances at Sundance '94. Oh boy, this one. You got, overlapping film and overexposed shots and very haphazard filmmaking. Needless to say, this one's indie! Now, Renee Humphrey doesn't seem to have a long back catalog of movies that she's appeared in. The only one I seem to recognize was Mallrats. On the other hand, Alicia Witt has a pretty impressive back catalog of movies. Her first one was Dune, and she's been in wacky movies like Cecil B. Demented, and then probably done her fair share of not-so-great ones. But what really interested me about this movie was the sort of strange manner of storytelling. Two girls who are, let's just say, deeply disturbed in some way. They become fast friends and meet one day, and during this same day they decide that it's a good idea to just go murder an old woman, as we all do. And the movie's split up in between being filmed in black and white and being filmed in color. The color is the past, and we're going back over the day in which they met and then killed this woman and then the aftermath of that. And the black and white is the present tense, in which we see them being interviewed and counseled in a psych ward of sorts, or, some sort of prison for girls. I actually really like the manner of storytelling in which it jumps around chronologically, and it makes the movie definitely less predictable and makes more moments more poignant than they would had it just been told in a straightforward narrative way. And of course, when we finally get to the long murder scene towards the end, it makes it all the more gruesome and horrible and upsetting. It's very sort of like haphazard and like in the moment sort of filmmaking. I could already see some similarities with this movie with other movies that I've already reviewed on this channel, like Gummo, for instance, with its sort of like all over the place kind of filmmaking and a character disrupting traffic standing over a bridge. Also Manic from 2001. It's about kids in a psych ward, and it's got that very claustrophobic, uneasy feeling of tension throughout. And then even a movie like Slacker, which came a few years before this. But overall, there's not actually much to the characters themselves. They're very simple-minded. But you could definitely boil down the characters, especially Whit's character of Bonnie, that their entire way of living is all based around of what they consider fun. Half the movie, Whit's just kind of like doing this. But, I mean, she's playing a crazed murderous girl who's a sociopathic liar, so I guess that makes sense. So while the performances are pretty good, there are also some lackluster aspects of the movie. For instance, the filmmaking itself. It's very just kind of point and shoot, and there's not a lot of creativity in terms of the framing of some shots. There's definitely one cool shot towards the end when they go to the gas station and wash themselves off after having murdered this old woman. The camera moves from left to right, and there's dark clouds in the sky as they run across. They must have felt good about that shot that day. Haphazard, shitty filmmaking, where have I seen that before? So yeah, not the whole movie, but some aspects of it are a little underwhelming. Also, for example, the music. I wanted just more out of the music. It was just kind of pedestrian for me. I was hoping for maybe some, like, 90s slackers something. I don't know. Sonic Youth! Another thing that contributes to the very real and gritty feeling of the movie, and one thing I probably enjoyed more than any other aspect of the movie, is just how it's really not played up for melodrama at any point. And it's just very small and collected and claustrophobic and just simple. That said, the movie takes a little bit of a time to get going as well. If you're invested and interested enough to see where it goes, then you probably won't mind, but I guess that someone just throwing this on might get disinterested within the first 10 or 15 minutes. But I think in the last 45 to 30 minutes, the movie really moves along at a much faster pace and is all the more gripping, obviously because it's been building up. And also the very last shot is really cool too. It blends the black and white and color in one shot. Do you know what it means? I'm a little mixed on the movie, but I think overall I would give it a positive review. I also have a theory about this movie, and what it is too. So my theory is that perhaps the character of Bonnie is made up in the mind of Hillary. Hillary is Renee Humphrey's character, Bonnie is Alicia Witt's character. Is the redheaded girl Bonnie just completely made up by the other character in a way to cope with, I don't know, loneliness or something? It kind of makes sense to me because the character gets let out at the end. The other one, you know, has a history, but it all turns out to be lies in the end anyway. So that's just, I'm just throwing it out there. That could be possible. But at the same time, it was all based on a real event, so it could just be total bullshit. But it's a movie. I've said about all I can say. So that's about it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and, you know, yeah. Stay sexy! Woo!